So hello, my name is Kaitlyn Randall and I'm going to be playing the counselor, and Ernest is going to be playing the client in this situation. So this client is coming in because their parents are not fully accepting his sexuality as a gay male, and it's causing stress on his relationship he has with his current spouse. So during his time here, to get to know his story better so I can make better recommendations, I got him to complete a critical events timeline, which included when he came out to friends, siblings, parents, and when he started dating his boyfriend. And then I also had him complete an eco map, which looked at the relationships he has with many aspects of his life, including people and organizations, such as his parents, his partner, things that he enjoys, like his hobbies, such as cooking and running, just so I can get a better understanding of his relationships. So I really used the narrative approach and tried to get him to tell me his story in his own words, because every story about coming out is very different and the experience is very different for everyone. I also tried to use a lot of open and close-ended questions and also practice solar so that he feels very comfortable while speaking to me. So this is what I tried to practice while working in this situation, and enjoy. Hello, please just take a seat.
Hi there.
It's nice to see you here today. My name is Kaitlyn Randall. I'm a social service worker here at the Toronto Mental Health Centre. Your name is Ernest, correct?
Yeah.
Is that how you want me to address you? Is that how you say your name properly?
Yeah.
Perfect. Do you want any water?
No thank you.
Perfect. Okay. So I just want to start with saying what we do here. So at the Toronto Mental Health Centre, we provide counselling services and referral services to many people within the community. And our main point here is just to get to know you a little bit better and get to know your situation you're in, so that we can make recommendations that are best fit for you and referrals that are fit for you, so you can get on the process to what you need.
Okay.
So this is a very safe place. Everything you say to me is confidential. It's all going to stay with me and within the organization. I'm allowed to share things within our organization, but not with anyone else. And other people in the organization are held to the same standard of confidentiality. So the only reason I would ever have to break confidentiality would be if there's any signs of harm to self, harm to others, suspected child abuse or suspected elder abuse, if there's any signs of intoxication with the intent of driving a motor vehicle, or if there's a court order or subpoena. So do you have any questions about the confidentiality agreement?
No, I think I understand.
Perfect. I'll just get you to sign here at the bottom. Perfect. Thank you. So how was your ride in today?
Not bad. I actually live close by, so I just walked here.
Oh, that's perfect. So you didn't have to come from far. That's good. So we have here kind of an explanation of why you're coming in today. It's just a general idea. So do you want to explain to me in your own words why you chose to come to us today?
Well, you know, I came out to my family probably about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And, you know, obviously it takes time for some people to adjust. And it was hard at first, but now, like, things have gotten better. It's okay, but it's still something that affects my life. My family and I were really close when I was growing up.
Okay.
I used to call my mom and dad all the time, and now it's still just kind of an issue. You know, I have a partner, I have a boyfriend, and, you know, it affects our relationship. It affects how much he can be included in my family, and I just feel like it's kind of causing stress in my overall life.
Okay, so what you're saying is that coming out to your parents has caused a lot of discomfort and instability in the relationship you have, and it's also creating stress in the romantic relationship you have.
Yeah.
So how long ago did you come out to your parents?
It was, I guess, about 2 years ago.
Okay.
It's not last summer, but the summer before.
One thing I would like to do is to better get to know the situation that you're in, is to do something called a critical events timeline. I don't know if you've ever completed one before. So
Okay.
you'll start at the age where you believe that this situation started. So maybe when you realized that you were maybe interested in the same gender or so forth. and do a documentation almost, a little note for each critical event in your life that has kind of impacted this situation.
Okay.
So, where do you want to start?
Okay. Do you want to start with like
Where you
when I
believe
was
that
born?
this situation. Sure.
Should I put that?
Sure.
Okay. So I was born February.
Long day?
Yeah, I'd say. Yeah, just work is stressful and all these things. It just feels like when things are stressing you out, it kind of carries over to the rest of your life.
Exactly.
So I was born.
You should be very proud that you've come in today. You're making a good decision for yourself and really taking time to better yourself and your situation. So that's great to see. You should be proud of that.
So after that, I would say, so is it just specifically things about sort of me coming out and me
Specific events
family?
that you believe that have impacted the situation you're currently in with your family and also your relationship as well. So maybe you want to include when the relationship started, how maybe an event that your parents reacted to with your current spouse or so forth.
Okay.
It's what you believe is a critical event in your situation.
Okay, so it can be whatever I kind of think of.
Yes.
So I came out first to my close friends.
Mm-hmm.
It was just easier.
Yep.
I guess there was less pressure. I wasn't scared as much.
Mm-hmm. How did your friends respond to you coming out to them?
I don't know. I think a lot of them kind of suspected. A lot of them knew. So it wasn't a big shock. I don't know, they were pretty good. I had a lot of support, I had a lot of good friends. I lost like one or two friends, but I don't know, that kind of sucked.
But you still did have a good support with your other friends?
Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear.
I guess I just kind of moved on. Like the few friends that I did lose, I just kind of had to, focus on my other friends.
Exactly. It's good to focus on the strong relationships you do have to make up for the ones you may have lost in that process.
So then I would say I came out to like my siblings after that, before I told my parents.
Why did you choose to tell your siblings next? Do you have a strong relationship with them?
Yeah, especially my sisters. I have two sisters, and they're both really supportive. They're really, easygoing, open-minded.
Yes.
Okay, not easygoing. That's they can be
They
difficult.
never are.
But they were. I just knew that they were going to be really supportive. When it comes to important things, they both always have my back.
So they're a good support system for you.
Absolutely. My brother's not so much, but my sisters are definitely. I don't hear from them a lot, but when I need them, they're there. So I came out to my siblings.
Do you find telling your friends helped you with telling your siblings? That experience helped at all?
I guess so, yeah, because I think with my friends, like I would tell them different friends in different situations. It's not like all of a sudden it was just like one big celebration, hey, I'm gay. I told a lot of them individually at different times. So I think one of the things I learned from that was, there's certain times where my friends were stressed, or it was like the timing of it just wasn't good. And so they weren't really nice when they responded. Like sometimes they were rude about it, or they acted like I shouldn't care, it shouldn't be a big deal. But other friends, like when it was a good situation, when it was a quiet environment, when there weren't other people around watching how they reacted, that pressure was off a bit. They were able to kind of listen better and to be supportive when I told them.
Okay. Well, it's good that you kept going with what you want to do with telling all of your friends instead of letting one of those negative situations get you down.
Yeah. I guess I hadn't really thought about it, that it was hard. I just kind of, I think I expected that there was going to be people who didn't like it, and people that didn't treat me well when I came out. So I was just happy for the people who were good.
Yes. It is definitely a strength of yours that you were able to find the confidence to do that, because many people do struggle with it, especially at a younger age, as it seemed to be when you told your friends.
So yeah, and then I said it wasn't last summer, but the summer before that I came out to my parents. And that was, oh yeah, there. And then, I also, yeah.
When did you start dating your boyfriend?
We've been together about a year now.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Is he a good support for you, a good strong relationship?
About most things, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He can be, but I think, you know what, this, for me with my parents, like, they used to come over to my place all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't want to come over if he's there.
Okay.
So
they are on board for the relationship that you guys have?
Yeah.
Is it particularly him, or is it just the fact that he is a male as well?
Yeah, it's just the situation. It's just because he's a male.
Okay.
And it's not what they want. So,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So I think that puts stress on our relationship, and that he's not as able to be as good of a support to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're fighting more, and it's just, I don't know. It's difficult.
Okay. Yes, I imagine that situation would be incredibly difficult to go through, but as I said earlier, it is a very good thing that you have come here today to try to work through it. Okay, so may I ask what took you why you chose to take so much time between telling your friends and your siblings?
I think it just seemed safer to come out to my friends.
Mm-hmm.
I was always so scared of what my parents were going to think.
Mm-hmm.
So I worried that if I told my siblings, that it was sort of like a domino effect. Like I would have to tell my parents after that.
Okay.
And I really wasn't ready for a long time for my family to know.
Okay. So outside of your parents and your siblings, do you have any other support systems? So are you involved in anything in the community, or have you reached out to any other counseling services since then at all? Do you have any hobbies?
Okay, I know to counseling. I haven't done anything like that, but I play every week in a dodgeball league.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We usually, there's a group of us, we're all on the same team, and we go out for dinners and stuff like that afterwards.
Okay, so they're a good, strong support for you as well. How long ago did you start doing that?
This is my third year playing.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So this is something that you very much enjoy and you find strength in, right?
Yeah, it's fun. It's
well, that's good.
Silly.
Do a lot of your friends come from the dodgeball tournament?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great to hear. So it is a good way for you to get involved within your community and meet people. Are any of them in similar situations as you, where you can lean on them as a similar support, or?
I think a lot of people have such similar stories coming out, but I don't know. We don't really talk about that. Like we have fun, we go out together, maybe we'll go out dancing, we go out, to parties or to bars, these sorts of things. But
well, that's fantastic. So it does kind of act as a good experience for you, and not always quite as involved in what's going on with your parents and family. It's kind of an experience to get out of the situation you're in as well.
For sure.
Well, that's good to hear. I would like to learn more about the relationships you have with different people in your life, and also different organizations within your life. So would you mind completing something called an eco-map for me?
Sure.
Have you completed one before?
No.
So with an eco-map, I have an example right here for you. So what you'll do is first you'll put yourself in the middle.
Okay.
And then you're going to include all these little bubbles on the side. It can be as many or as little as you want. And you'll put in different people you have in your life, or different organizations that you're involved in, such as your friends, parents, any siblings you may have, any extended family, like maybe your grandma or your grandpa, or any aunts or uncles, their relationship you have with them, your education, your extracurriculars, that would be dodgeball in your case, or maybe if you have any form of religion, then you would want to include the church or something along those lines. It is up to you what you decide to put on there. And then you're going to create different symbols for the different kinds of relationships you have with those organizations and people in your life. So, for example, with this example, it has a thick line between the person and their siblings. And you'd create a little legend at the bottom. that says what that represents. So in this case, it's saying that between them and their siblings, they have a strong relationship.
Okay.
A single line would be more normal, more average, intermediate, and they have X's to represent a stressed relationship. So you can make whatever symbols you decide to and have different organizations and people, whatever's fit to your life and situation.
Okay.
And do you mind kind of explaining it to me as you go throughout it as well?
Sure.
Perfect.
So I go in the middle here.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I'll put my parents first. So I'm just going to do a dotted, like a dashed line here.
Okay. What does the dashed line represent to you?
So for me, that's sort of the stress on a relationship. Like we have been close, but right now, my parents and reacting in this situation, it's becoming a stressful relationship.
Yes. Did this stressful relationship start immediately after you told them or shortly afterwards?
I feel like I don't know if it was stress. I think because when I came out to them, I was so scared of what would happen. I was scared that they would never talk to me again.
Yes.
So it was difficult and they didn't understand and they weren't happy. But I think because they were still talking to me and because I was still in their life, I was so happy about that I wasn't maybe paying attention to the fact that it still wasn't healthy. It wasn't the same.
Yes.
I wasn't ready to look at that and challenge that and say, okay, why isn't this normal? Why isn't this just easy? You know, I didn't think that was. I didn't worry about that because I was just thankful they were even talking to me in the first place. But now I'm kind of trying to hopefully make my life, I don't know, normal. Like what's normal? But you know, I want to be happy.
What you would have for yourself.
Yeah, I want to be able to have a partner. I want to be able to have a life. I want to, you know, I have friends and these sorts of things, and I want my family to be a part of my life like they were before.
So that's what you really want to aim here for, is to reconnect with your family and kind of educate and get them involved in the life that you have chosen to live, what life that you want to live. You said that you want them to be involved in your future and you want to have a relationship where you can all be together and be happy together.
Yeah.
So that's something you want to work towards.
For sure.
Before telling your parents, you said you felt very stressed and worried that they would reject you or they'd be very angry. Did you speak out to anyone at that point to get help? Like you said you'd already told your friends and your siblings at that point. So did you talk to them, try to get some help with that, or did you go through it alone?
Mostly my siblings, especially my one sister. She lives closer. And so yeah, she was a big help. I was just so scared, and I think a lot of people are scared to come out to their parents. You never know how your parents are going to handle it. It can be a big deal to lose your family, and some people do. So my sister was a really good support, and she kind of helped talk me through it, and she had my back.
Well, that's good that she was a support for you in that situation.
So I'm going to put my siblings next.
Okay.
I think it's just easier to group them all in. Even though my brother's not as close with, I'm still going to put sort of a strong line here.
How many siblings do you have?
I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters.
Okay, a large family.
Yeah. I'm going to color that in. So the thicker line just shows that it's a stronger relationship.
Okay. So they're really good support for you. They're people that you can lean on.
Absolutely.
You said you haven't been talking to them too much lately. Is that something that you think is coming from the situation with your parents, or is it just busy lives? And
yeah, I think it's just busy lives.
Okay.
I know my family loves me, but they're not necessarily, we don't talk on the phone every day. We don't see each other.
Okay.
But like my parents, we used to. I used to talk to my parents every week. But now I talk to them, but I don't know. It's not the same. We don't talk as long. It's not about the same things. It's just, it's difficult.
Exactly. It sounds like a difficult situation, but you seem to be going through it pretty well and handling it pretty well.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried talking to your parents about it? about their reaction to it, or maybe trying to educate them more?
Yeah, I haven't tried to educate them more, but I've tried to talk to them, and they think that they're doing a good enough job just because they say they're handling it, they say they're dealing with it,
Okay.
Um,
Not that they're accepting it, just that they're handling it, is what you're saying, right?
yeah, like to them, I think they're still embarrassed too, like to tell people they have a gay son.
Mm-hmm.
So like for them, they feel like it's so hard for them to have to go through that they're not really looking at where for me it's hard.
Okay. So they're just looking at it from their personal perspective, how it makes their lives a bit more difficult, how it's maybe not what they imagined, but in your situation, you're on the other side of it and you're being ignored and your needs and your feelings are being ignored, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's like they think that they're doing enough.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why whenever I try to talk to them about what's going on for me, they kind of, I don't know, deflect it, and they don't want to listen to what I'm saying because they'll just talk about how good they're handling it.
Okay.
Kind of like glaze over what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm going to put my partner. I'm just going to put a normal line here because we do have a good relationship, but I feel like right now we're kind of facing more problems because of this whole situation with my family. And we're after a year of being together, things are slightly more serious, and it'd be nice to be able to go to family functions and these sorts of things like weddings or Easter dinner. Easter's coming up, and I'd really love to be able to bring my partner and to.
Have you talked to him about the relationship that you have with your parents?
Oh, yeah.
And how that affects your relationship as well?
Absolutely. He brings it up all the time. He doesn't like it, and I think he's becoming less patient with it.
Okay.
He's getting more and more frustrated, and I think we fight sometimes because of it. He's a really good guy, and he really cares about me, but that's why we're fighting, is that he cares about me and he wants the relationship to keep going and to grow, but the situation isn't easy for him.
Do you try to go and make events and plans that correlate both your parents and your partner?
My parents keep putting it off. Like I've been trying to get them all to go out and have dinner together, and my parents just keep making these excuses, and it just seems like they're not real to me. It seems like they just keep fishing for reasons to get out of it.
Okay.
They're making it harder and harder. So
I see.
Because I've tried to take like small steps to get them together in situations that are maybe like not as difficult, so we can just kind of be around each other for small periods of time.
Okay.
Not like going on a vacation together for a week. I'm not asking them to do that.
You're not asking them for too much. You're trying to keep it more reasonable to start, right?
Yeah. So I'm writing down that because I'm putting just a straight line between me and my partner, that it's sort of a normal relationship.
Okay.
I think, we're having stressful times right now, but I think I would consider it within the normal range. Everyone has fights or bad times or these sorts of things. I don't think I don't feel like it's the same as the strain that's happening between me and my parents.
Well, it's good. You can clearly tell that you guys care for each other by the fact that you're staying together and you're trying to discuss it and figure it out. And you're working through it pretty well from what I see, despite the situation and how difficult it's been. So that is good. That's a sign of a good relationship between you two, and that you can be good supports for each other. Does he have any of the same issues with his parents at all, or his family supports?
His family actually lives in the U.S., so they're
Okay.
not around. So it's not like we can go to have this issue. But they're going to be visiting him in a few months.
Okay.
But it sounds like his family doesn't have this problem. I haven't been around them, but we've Skyped them and these sorts of things, and they say hi, and they seem to be more supportive. I think that's maybe why him and I are fighting about this situation sometimes, is he doesn't understand what's happening with my parents.
On his side, the situation's very different. So it is good that he's, like I said, working it out with you, though, even though he can't necessarily relate to that experience, right?
Yeah.
So that is good to hear.
Next, I'm gonna put my doing dodgeball, my dodgeball
Okay.
friends. I'm just gonna put a normal line. They're fun.
Okay.
Like I said before, like they're fun to go out with. We have
Mhm.
dinners or we'll go out partying or dancing or these sorts of things. But like I wouldn't talk to them about like issues with coming out and issues with family stuff.
Mhm.
Like that's
It's just a very light relationship.
yeah, like they're fun
Mhm.
people. They're great, but they're not necessarily like I would talk to my siblings about that kind of stuff or my partner.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's more like light, fun, hanging out, not serious stuff.
So you say you talk to your siblings about more deep situations that affect you. Have you talked to them about the way that your parents are reacting to you being gay, or have you kind of not talked about it too much with them?
Well, like I said before, like if something like big happens,
Mm-hmm.
my siblings are there to support me. But so like when I came out, they were really there. They were really helpful. But like we don't talk on like every week, like I said before. So it's not like we're talking all the time. I can give them updates on the situation. Like they're not there all the time. So not like they know what's going on,
Okay.
but it's not like I talk to them regularly about it.
Is there anyone besides your partner that you do talk regularly about these issues?
I have a really good close friend, Ernest.
Okay.
He's I hang out with him a lot. Yeah, so I talk to him about that kind of stuff.
How long have you known Curtis?
7 years.
Oh, so that's a very long relationship.
Yeah.
Is he one of the first people you told when you came out to
Yeah.
your friends? So you knew each other at that point?
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
So I'll put him.
That's a really long relationship for you, a steady relationship.
Yeah.
Do you hear from him often?
Yeah. We hang out a lot.
Okay. Are him and your partner close as well? Have they met each other and...
Yeah, they're not close.
Mm-hmm.
They'll hang out. Sometimes we have dinners together and that kind of stuff.
Okay. Do you have any other kind of organizations within your life or people that you really rely on or that are involved in this situation?
I have like work friends and stuff.
Okay.
I have like a bit of a community at work and a
Do
little
you
bit.
feel accepted at work as well? Is everything good there?
For the most part, I mean it's like my coworkers, the people that I like see every day, they're great. But my boss, you know, there's a bit of like a I feel like there's times where I kind of close off a bit of who I am just because I worry about being too open. So like it's okay, but I don't.
It could be a better situation for you.
Yeah, I guess you know what it's you know, I'm happy that I have a job. I'm happy that I can you know pay my bills. So I try not to worry about it too much.
Yes.
But it's I definitely still hide part of who I am because of that. Like my boss knows that I'm gay, but I just feel like
Okay.
I can't. I would be nervous to be completely
Open
free
about it?
and exactly who I am. Just because maybe it would be deemed like unprofessional or not the way they want me to act. But my colleagues, like my coworkers, they're great. I have a lot of fun with them.
Well, that's good. Are they kind of friends outside of work as well?
Yeah, like sometimes Fridays or whatever, we'll go out after work and have you know a few drinks. Or we'll go out for dinner at the end of the week.
Would you say your boss directly affects your work, or is it more so just kind of a feeling?
It's just a feeling, and it's not. It's like he's not around all the time, but it's just sort of when he's there. It's just sort of, I don't know. I get kind of nervous. Like, am I gonna do something and it's gonna make him uncomfortable?
Okay.
Um,
Have you considered taking your discomfort to the board, possibly?
you
Or
mean
to
like
your
the? No, I don't know. I worry that it would create problems. Like I don't want to cause any more ripples in the water. Like I don't want to risk losing my job.
Okay.
And I know that sounds silly. I know that like
Oh, it doesn't
they
sound
should
silly
be
at all.
they should be there to take care of me and hope their employees do well. But I'm just worried that trying to make it better could end up backfiring, and it could
Okay.
make my boss more angry at me because I said something, because I tried to, you know.
Okay. So on your intake form, it also says that you're very passionate about cooking and running. Are those things that you would include on your eco map?
Sure. Like just hobbies and stuff.
Your hobbies as well.
Yeah, I love to run. Especially when I'm like stressed out, whenever like I feel like I've had a really hard day or something, or like when I'm getting a fight with my parents or something. It's a good stress release to go for a run.
That's good that you have that time to spend with yourself as well.
Yeah.
Do you competitively run, or is it just something you do when you feel stressed and want to work off some steam?
Yeah, it's just sort of, it's a good like alone time. It's good to process things. Yeah.
Do you ever have anyone come with you, or is it just time to be in your own thoughts?
Sometimes my partner comes for a run with me. Not as much.
So he supports you in what you enjoy doing.
Yeah, we cook a lot together. That we definitely, all the time we're cooking together.
Do you take any cooking lessons, or are one of you just very good at it?
No, I don't know if I'm good at it. It depends on what other people say. But I think we're both very good cooks.
Okay.
We work well together.
It's time that you spend together to build up your relationship, your bond.
Yeah. It's a good source of...
Is it also kind of a stress reliever as well, that time spent with him?
Yeah. It's nice to be able to have that bonding and everything.
Exactly. Well, that's good that you have that.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much for completing this for me. So, how long have you been running?
I think I started when I was probably in high school.
Okay, so it's something you've been enjoying for a while.
Yeah.
That's really good to hear that you have that time to spend with yourself and to kind of clear your head and think, get exercise as well. Perfect. So earlier you said that you've never tried to reach out to any kind of community services such as counseling or any organizations to assist with that. Is there a particular reason why you haven't reached out?
I don't know. I thought I could handle things myself. I thought, I could just deal with it. I didn't think things were that bad, I guess.
What made you decide to come here?
I think the situation with my family is difficult, but now the fact that it's gotten to the point where I'm trying to have this relationship with my partner, but it's now suffering. So I feel like the situation with my family, I came out, it was a little bit of a struggle and it seemed like it was getting better, but now I'm at this point where if this continues, is it going to always impact my ability to have relationships? So I worry about the fact that it's going to maybe cause my current relationship to fall apart if there's a continued strain, and I'm worried that is this problem ever going to go away? Like, how do I deal with that?
Well, it's good that you are coming here today to take the beginning steps to really making a better future for yourself. That's good to hear. Does anyone else know you're coming in today?
No, I didn't tell anyone.
Okay.
I don't know, kind of embarrassed.
Why would you feel embarrassed about coming here?
I don't know, it's counseling. It just, people think that you're crazy or something, or I don't know.
Well, as I said, it is a good step that you've come here, and it really shows that you care about the situation you're in with your family members and your relationship. It shows that you care for those people in your life and that you want to better those relationships. So you should be happy and not the slightest bit embarrassed or ashamed of coming here today. You should be very proud of yourself, if anything. So is there any kind of services that you've ever kind of thought about reaching out to before? Like, have you ever kind of like considered going out to anything? Was there any groups while you were in school or any community organizations close by you ever looked into?
When I was in high school, we had one of those, whatever it's called, like those alliance kind of groups. But I didn't want to go into it. I was a little bit worried about, like, I was part of a gay group, so then maybe my family would find out or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, I also I was out to a lot of my friends at that point, but I didn't want to, I don't know, overly label myself. I was happy to come out, but I just wasn't quite ready to be part of, like, a specifically gay group.
Yeah, that's very understandable. Were you at all do you think it impacted your your fear from telling your parents when you were younger, do you think it impacted how well you did in school, how stressed you were, any of your like mental health or anything along those lines?
I haven't really thought about that before. I think I was angry at my parents when before I had told them. I think that I remember feeling angry, and I guess teenagers they get angry at their parents and they fight and stuff. But I realize now that I was angry because I felt like I couldn't tell them. Like I felt like I was scared of telling them. I was scared of losing them. So like I loved them, but yet that was causing me I was getting angry and I would lash out at them, and I think that it affected me wanting to think about going to university and like that kind of stuff, going to school. I definitely think I was probably not as focused on that. Like I just didn't. I took a lot of energy to think about those things, and I was.
So your parents' values and their beliefs, you do think they impacted how you felt at that point and how you felt about your future as well?
Yeah, I think it's I knew that it was going to be hard, and so I was scared of that, and so I think I was so frustrated and I was so scared to tell them, and I was scared of the process. So I think it affected basically me thinking about taking school seriously and me thinking about my own future.
Do you still think that their opinions and their beliefs affect the future that you see for yourself now with your relationship, your work, and so forth?
For sure. I think that, I don't know. I don't get why for them it's so difficult, but other parents are fine with it. Like it just seems like they're so stuck for some reason, and it affects, my day-to-day now. The fact that, my parents want to come over, but if my partner's over, they won't come over.
Do you think your boyfriend having a supportive family and a support system, do you think that affects how you feel towards your parents as well? Do you think it impacts the situation in that way?
I think so, yeah. I think, getting to know my partner and getting to see his relationship with his family, I think that's maybe why right now I'm pushing so hard for my parents to be okay with it, because I see that other parents can be. So I guess I want that, and I miss being close to my family. I miss being, I miss having my parents around. I miss calling them every week and having long conversations and feeling like I could depend on them more.
Well, it's good that you've come in today, because this is something that we can work towards. And I also thank you for opening up to me so much. You really have helped me kind of get a better understanding of your situation and where you're at, and what kind of referrals would best fit you for going towards that future you want, building those relationships with your parents and also with your siblings, and strengthening the relationship you have with your spouse together, and creating that future that you really desire for yourself. So I actually have an organization here that I think would fit many of the needs that you have brought up. So the main issue you have expressed is that you want to gain a better relationship with your parents. It doesn't seem like they maybe have the sense of understanding and acceptance that you would want them to have to be in your life in the future, and it causes stress with your relationship. So I think we would want to find somewhere that addresses your parents and the relationship you guys have when it comes to your sexuality. But I also think maybe having a chance for you and your spouse, or you and your partner, to kind of work together more so on this and strengthen your relationship after what you've gone through, because even though you are handling it very well, I imagine it is very difficult, and it is something that you're going to struggle with as well. So, or you've expressed that you struggle with as well. So maybe partner counseling. And you seem to have a couple of really good supports in your life, but maybe you'd be interested in getting to know people that are in kind of the same situation. Would that be kind of like an interest to you as well, or?
For sure.
Okay. So I have an organization here, it's called PFLAG. So they offer services and counseling to people within the community with kind of helping with educating parents and family members, and with their family member's sexuality, and I think that would create like a good chance for you and your parents to get together and really create more understanding among you and hopefully strengthen that relationship. But they also have many people who are going through the same exact similar situations that you're going through, so that you can relate to those people and create more supports for yourself, so you don't feel like you're going through it alone, right? Because this is something that many people in your life haven't experienced, and it's a very difficult situation for you. And even though you're handling it well, I'm sure going and meeting people who have gone through or are going through similar situations could be a very helpful opportunity for you. And they also offer partner counseling, which could give you an opportunity to really get to discuss these kinds of things with your partner in a comfortable situation where someone's there kind of as a mediator as well. So I think that might be a good opportunity for you guys to strengthen your relationship. So to make it easier for you, we can actually go and share the information that you have shared with us in your intake here with that organization. You would just need to sign a FIPA form.
Okay.
So more just to kind of help you understand it a little bit further. So we are not sharing anything without your permission. Everything you've said here today is going to be confidential. And by signing this FIPA form, you give us permission to share this information with the PFLAG organization, so that when you get there, they already know your situation, your family's situation, so you don't have to repeat yourself, because I imagine that cannot be pleasant. So they are held to the same boundaries of confidentiality as we are, that I explained earlier in the confidentiality agreement. So anything they receive will not leave their organization at all. So
Okay.
Do you fully understand that and have any questions?
No, I think I get it.
Perfect. Just sign at the bottom and date it. So is there anything else you think needs to be addressed here? Anything else you want to get out?
No, I think that sounds great. Yeah, you basically said it's a way for me to be able to go and hopefully be with people who have gone through the situation and help. Hopefully, I think that'll be good to get those different perspectives for people who are going through the same thing, and hopefully too I can get some information, from PFLAG about how to, get my family hopefully more on board with this.
Well, you should be very proud of yourself for coming in today. This is not an easy step, but it is a very helpful step to going down the road to the future you desire for yourself and your family, and strengthening those relationships you have with your spouse and with your family as well. So you should be very proud of coming in today. Would you be interested in doing a follow-up meeting with me, just to keep up to tabs, so to speak? And
Sure.
Perfect. So when are you available?
Like Tuesday or Thursday afternoons are best.
I have a meeting at 2:30 on Thursday, if that works for
Sure.
you. Perfect. So thank you so much for coming in today. It was great to meet you.
Thanks. It's
And
great
I
to
really
meet
do
you,
wish
Kaitlyn.
you all the best.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
You too.